It's a different bird.
Greens and blessings. Beautiful, beautiful mirrors of vibration. Today is a magical Tuesday, May 18, 2021. And if you read the description, what? I know. If you read the description today, it's on a very sensitive topic. And shout outs to my amazing family, my 2 cousins that are having their Earth Day today. Shout outs and blessings. I want to talk about something very sensitive. Before we begin, remember the importance of your foundation. The importance of your foundation is ground for life. Take those shoes off. Take those shoes off and get naked, get raw, get bare with Mother Earth. Because she wants to get raw, naked, and bare with you. She wants to show you who you are. She wants to show you what's possible. Because there's no difference within us and nature. It's all one. We're all one. Remember the next step to your foundation. Hydrate for life. Cheers. Cheers to life, to love, to unity, to wisdom, to truth. Absolute truth. Remember the third step. Remember to breathe life. Take in this moment and breathe life. So precious. It's so precious. Remember to breathe. No matter what's going on outside of you, no matter what, always remember to breathe. The fourth step is remember to play and be life. You cannot not be life, and you cannot not be. Remember to play. And stop taking life so seriously. At the same time, be dedicated to life. Life is so precious. Life is so beautiful. Shout outs to my beautiful, lovely mirror of a wife. Love, love, love. Look at all that beauty she sends. Love you, amores. Love you, love. So remember to play and be life, because you can't be less life and you can't be more life. You are life itself. So no matter what you do or you don't do, you can't take away from who you are. You can't take away from the life that you're living. You can take away from the experience that you're experiencing, but you can never take away from the life that you're living. So always remember the importance of your foundation, because to me, this foundation is more important than the foundation that I focus outside of me. Because when I focus on the foundation inside of me, then profound focus is more magnified outside of me. And that's basically why I'm sharing what I'm sharing today. Because I just heard recently, Ozzy Fisher, what's up, beautiful mirror? Great to see you. So, I'm not the expert at this subject. Please do the research for yourself. Please look up this information. And when you do, write to your senators, write to your Congress, write to everyone that you can. I'm still in the process of doing so. I just started yesterday. But let me tell you, what's at stake right now. Let me just say this before I go to the next step. Even locked up, I was free. Even tortured, I was free. I was free to use this. This amazing, amazing brain. Not the mind. Don't confuse this with the mind. This amazing brain and this amazing heart. That this brain is designed to serve the heart. So you've heard this message over and over again. If not, go back to our videos. We share every day about this that I'm just sharing right now. But I want to bring focus, because you all know that watch us, that we focus on the world within. We don't hardly ever share about anything outside of us. And there's a reason for that. Because how you're experiencing is your relationship with you. The more you cultivate this beautiful, sacred, divine relationship with you, the more you're going to see the transformation out here. That being said, this bill is House Bill 2668. Go to Stop House Bill 2668 and let your voice be heard. Let your vibrational imprint make a difference in this world. The reason why I share this is because I'm not going to go too in depth with this, but I knew that there was something underneath all of this noise, all of this distraction, which if you think about it, is freedom. Because this is affecting the entrepreneur. This is affecting the sole proprietor. This is affecting the business owner. This is affecting the grassroots movements. This is affecting those that have said, I am going to live my life. I'm going to follow my heart. I'm going to live my dream. I'm going to follow and I'm going to live my vision. And for those of you that know, I was doing silence and visioning every day. Silence for a long time before that, and then I went into visioning and silence. Because vision is so important. What hasn't happened is waiting to happen through you. What hasn't been thought of is waiting to be thought through you. What hasn't been felt is waiting to be felt through you. What hasn't been lived is waiting to be lived through you. You are that important. Estrada Alice, great to see you. Shout outs for the beautiful business that without Cricket, I wouldn't have this phone. And she's an amazing, amazing soul. So without those that are going against the grain, so to speak, and if you have a 9 to 5, I'm not downing the 9 to 5. But even mothers, fathers, brothers and sisters, friends, we're all free to be ourselves. Dan Fernando, blessings to great to see you, brother. A beautiful soul. I need to change that program. I'm working on that because we're not brothers and sisters, we're souls. I don't see duality, I see singularity. And I love each and every single one of you the same because I love myself. And I do my best to love more of me so I can love more of we. Thank you, love. Yes, stop House Bill 2668. And the reason why, and I mention this with all the love in my heart, if this shocks you, if this kind of causes you to feel disrespected, judged, or whatever, that's inside, because that's not where this is coming from. This is why I hashtagged long ago Controversial Corner in Conscious Conversations, because it's those things that we don't want to talk about that we need to talk about. Because if we don't talk about them, they're going to continue to exist and they're never going to transform. So it's very important to talk about these things. I'm going to create a group, or I'm going to do something, and please connect with me on Clubhouse because we're starting Magic on Clubhouse. And we're aligning with Magic. There, we're going to bring more of this information to you. We're going to bring experts to you that you're not just going to hear from Michael. Michael doesn't know nothing. But I do want to say why I'm so passionate about this. Because long ago I was told I was going to face 3 years in prison. And I told the judge, I said, you know what, I'm going to go to prison. Can't deny that. Let's take a moment to breathe. So this is a warning with love. I'm going to say some things that are going to be very controversial. But I'm not asking you to believe me. I'm asking you to do your research. If anything that you're like, oh my gosh, what is this? Research it before you judge it. Because if I didn't get locked up, I wouldn't have known what I'm about to tell you. So I told the judge, I'm facing 3 years. I told the judge, okay, you're going to lock me up. I'm going to study you so well that I'm going to be the greatest criminal in my life that's ever existed. And I'm not going to get locked up again. I'm going to be that good. So I dedicated myself to study the government. And when I studied the government, long story short, I found out things that most people can't even imagine or believe. So, what did Michael find out in prison that he's so passionate about now? That we are all sovereign and free soul beings. And there's sovereign, supreme laws that, I don't want to say protect you, but that intervene for you. It's like having this vibrational immune system. And when you, I don't want to say awaken because it's already awake, but when you reawaken the sensitivity to this sovereignty, you start living it. Because that's why so many people are feeling like their rights are, being, affected and all these things because they're forgetting their sovereign rights within themselves. So, without going too much into detail, if you want to know more, connect with me. I'll connect you on Clubhouse. I'll connect you wherever I can connect you. And I want you to know this information. No, let me repeat that. I don't want you to know this information. I would love for you to know this information. Because I'm going to say it, and I love you all, but it's not even about the mask. It's not even about the vaccines. It's not even about 5G. All of this noise is to get us to look elsewhere so that our sovereign rights are taken away from us underneath. That's what this is about. And again, I'm going to repeat this. You haven't heard me talk like this for about 6-7 years because I used to talk like this. This was my bread and butter. But I haven't talked like this in, I want to say 6 or 7 years. But what I'm about to see happening, I don't want to say that I stayed quiet and I was a participant, because by staying quiet, I'm a participant. At the same time, I'm going to tell you this. Whatever I'm saying, like I said, don't believe me. Feel for yourself. Do your own research, but also realize that you're creating your reality from the inside out. So what I'm saying is, don't accept this truth, but do your work so that you don't allow this to happen in your reality by going to that bill and signing it. So, as I was in prison, I realized that, and like I said, I might do some more videos on this, but when we're born, we're given a social security number. And that social security number is your corporate number. You're no longer free. When you sign that social security number, you're under corporate jurisdiction. You're not under common jurisdiction. You're not under supreme law. You've now sold your rights unconsciously because your parents sign it over. They sign your social security card. They sign your rights over unconsciously, not knowing that they're selling you to the corporation. This is what we call the straw man law. The straw man effect, excuse me. Google it. The straw man effect. You are two identities. You are who you truly are, but you're also a corporate identity that when you sign any kind of financial agreements or whatever, you're signing that corporate identity. So like I said, if you want to know more, do your research, get on a private conversation with me, because I'm not the expert at this. But this is not about a House bill, but it is. The House bill is an opportunity for humanity to show that we can come together and voice our sovereign freedom. And I'm going to tell you, this is not even about the U.S. Constitution. This is not even about the federal government. This is not even about one country. This is about humanity. Because when it starts one place, they'll slowly ripple effect. The next part is this. That when you start awakening within yourself, let me rephrase that. When you start reawakening within yourself, you start shedding those contracts vibrationally. And that's why you're hearing this message. Because you've done the work to shed that contract. You're not here by accident. You're not hearing this, oh my gosh, I just tapped on this video. Everything that you do is pre-planned on a subconscious level. So, the distractions that we're seeing outside of us, and really if we ask ourselves, how do we fall for it? Because we've trusted the outer law, which is really subjected to the inner law. They can't not take your rights. They can't affect your rights without you agreeing to it. They cannot step over your sovereignty without you agreeing to it. And do I have a social security number? Yeah. Do I sign agreements? Yes. But because I'm aware of it vibrationally, I don't sign the agreement. Big difference. Now, I'm working with some people that I'm going to be able to transform all of that, and I want to help transform all of you, but I can't share it unless I've lived it. And for those of you that know me, you know I don't share something that I don't experience. Joshua D. Furman, Alexandra Gold, Rodolfo Velarde Garcia, who else is on here? Blessings to all of you. Thank you for being here now with us. So, I'm going to make this as short as possible, but I don't want to make it short and not give it the respect and the honor that people stood up in the Supreme Court, and this law says that we can't get our rights taken away. And I'll give you a little short version from what I've heard. Like I said, I'm not an expert at this, but I can connect you to experts that know about this. So if you want to know more, get a hold of me, we'll talk, and we'll help free each other, because this is what we're here to do. So basically, the Supreme Court has 12 honorees, right? And 9 out of 12, they shut down this decision that the government, the federal government, can go at any time, at any moment, that if somebody complains about you, they can take over your business and destroy you, basically. As much as I understood it. So like I said, Google it, go look at it for yourself, because I'm not the expert. And nature knows this is affecting nature as well. Because our freedom, it's affected, affects the vibrational freedom of all involved. Because we're all one. So thank you. As soon as I said that, they left. You notice that? Pay attention. Pay attention. Nature talks. But if we don't listen, we'll always be asleep. So, we talked about the straw man. We talked about the Social Security. The other thing is, and I know most people aren't going to believe me, but trust me, I've done my research, I've done my work. It's not even about the federal government. The federal government only has jurisdiction in Washington, D.C., and Google it. It is a 4 square mile radius. The flags that you see in the courthouses, the flags that you see in the federal department buildings, they have fringes around them. This is the British Maritime Law. That means that Britain is running that department. We're not even in the United States, people. We're in a corporation that has been run by Britain. So, the forefathers came from Britain to be free, but really they just brought Britain with them. And the thing about it is, right here, in this place right here, in your home, you are free. Notice that the normal American flag has no fringes. There's power in these symbols. There's power in these images, or whatever we want to call them. So if you see a fringed American flag, it is no longer an American flag. It is a British Maritime Law flag, means you're under Britain law. You're under British law. You're not even free. And if you go to a courthouse, which I'm not advising you to do this, but I've done this. If you go to a courthouse and you ask the judge, where's my tickets going to? Where am I paying my fines? Where is this fee going to? And if you know how to speak, they won't tell you. Because you can ask them, you see that fringe right there? And I'm not telling you to do this, because you'll wake up red flags and things will be repercussioned bad. Okay? And I'm not going to say that because I don't know what's going to happen to you or with you. But I'm saying that because so many people have been afraid to talk about this, you know, we don't know about this. But I'm going to tell you this. You are free. You are sovereign. And your sovereign rights are being affected on a physical level, not a vibrational level, but they do affect your vibrational level. Okay? It's not easy to explain this, but just trust yourself. Feel this when I tell you that your vibrational identity has been desensitized, so your sensitivity believes everything that people tell you because they have a 3 abbreviation title. You know, FBI, NSA, you know, all these different things, because now they have the power to convince you, or even these major organizations, that because they appear to be honest, we believe them. So I was even talking to somebody about psychological racism. That the minute that you hear something that doesn't align with your beliefs, you automatically cut that person in your head, and he or she becomes your enemy. We do this on an unconscious level. And that is why the deeper work is so important. Because when somebody does that deep work, they can't judge anymore. Because they come from compassion, because they know, I judge myself. So if I judge myself, and I didn't even know myself, wow, how can I judge somebody else? I didn't even know. So, if you want to know more, if you want to do the deep dive, let's talk. Because I'm here to help you. Help yourself. Not even help, but remind yourself to free yourself. Because you got the key. Nobody else has that key. And I'm going to be very, very bold when I say this. Not even your external faith has the key. How much have you believed? How much have you been praying and waiting for something to change in your life when really the transformation happens within? You are that key. And you've been giving sovereign freedom. Listen to how free you are. You are so free that if you want to destroy your life, you have the freedom to do so. I'm going to say that again. You are so free that you have the absolute freedom to destroy yourself if you choose to. But on the flip side, see, if we don't accept that, we can't accept this, which is really this, is that you are so free to be the greatest version, to be the greatest romance, to be the greatest love, to be the greatest friend, to be the greatest source of your life. That's how free you are. And that doesn't take away from the absolute source. That's the funny thing. We've been convinced that if I believe that I'm so free, am I taking away the belief that I'm not honoring my source? God, universe, creator, infinite mind, infinite intelligence, Yeshua, Allah, Buddha, Jehovah, Krishna, all these different beliefs. We think that our thoughts are going to affect and lessen the absolute. How do we get convinced of that? I'm nobody that I can even touch or speckle that absoluteness, and neither are you. But we are somebody in that oneness when we realize and remember who we are. So, I went a little segue, but it's so important because I wanted to talk about this House bill, but it's not even just about the House bill. The House bill is either an opportunity or a detriment to our existence. Because if we don't, and I'm not saying I know the absolute truth, I don't know nothing. So let me repeat that. I don't know what I don't know. But I will tell you this, from talking to experts and talking to people that know what they're talking about and that are connected with people that know what they're talking about, is that it sounds like this bill is of such importance that every single one of us listening to this video writes your Congress, writes your Senate, and says, please stop House Bill 2668. Because if not, the entrepreneur spirit, which is, what is the entrepreneur spirit? I've said this again, I'll say it again. The entrepreneur spirit is, if you go to any entrepreneur school, which we can call MLMs, we can call workshops, we can call, any business that you're starting. It doesn't matter if you already have inventory with another business. It doesn't matter if you start from your own self. But if you're an entrepreneur, you're going to hear the same thing that a coach tells an athlete. And what does a coach tell an athlete? Tells them, you got this. Believe in yourself. It's 80% physical. Excuse me. It's 80% mental, 20% physical. Even less than that. Okay? But why am I reaffirming this? Because the coach knows. It doesn't matter how great the coach is. It doesn't matter how many Super Bowls or how many World Series or how many, what is a hockey league or boxers, championships they won, all of that means nothing if the athlete does not believe in himself or herself. So that's the entrepreneur spirit. Doesn't matter how much you achieve, doesn't matter how much you accomplish. Doesn't even matter how many people you're surrounded by. Because you could be surrounded by greatness, but would be your worst enemy. Trust me, I've known people, and I was even those. I threw a lot of opportunities my whole life because I didn't believe I deserved them. No more. I'm alert, I'm sensitive. And even then, I don't know what I don't know, so I'm still desensitized, becoming more sensitive to more of the awareness that I don't even know right now. Stay humble. Stay humble. And remember, you know nothing. Even though you know as much as you think you know. Because you think you know it, but you're only knowing thought. But if you transcend thought, which is a whole other conversation, you'll realize that thought bows and serves you. So, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about freedom. We're talking about sovereignty. We're talking about love, because without freedom, you can only have an idea of love, but you won't know love. And if you're not free here, you're not experiencing here. Let me say that for people listening on the audio. If you're not free in your head or striving for that freedom, then you're not free in your heart. Let me rephrase that. You are absolutely always free, but I'm talking about on a physiological, on a mental, on a psychological, on an emotional, on a frequency level, that you're not even touching the potential. You're not even tasting the potential of what resides inside of you. And that's what I feel this entrepreneur spirit is really about. Because the entrepreneur was designed to awaken the heart of humanity. But many people got so distracted in the head. It's a whole other story. But I'm here to disrupt that, and I'm here to remind myself and all of us that it's about the heart. And you can't touch it, you can't talk about the heart, you can't force the heart, you can't logically manipulate the heart. It doesn't work that way. If you want to know more, please let me know. My life has been transformed by this experience, by this relationship. So, we're going to be coming to a close now. If you have any questions, you have any comments, you have any disagreements, hey, we can disagree to agree, because we don't have to get along on everything. But if we don't stand for something, we're always going to fall for everything. And what I stand for is your freedom. What I stand for is my freedom. Because your freedom will affect my freedom. And my freedom affects your freedom. It's time. It's time we stop just playing on the surface and we dive deep. Let me drink my foundation. Remember, hydrate for life. This is part of the program of freedom. The more you hydrate yourself, the more fluidity you're going to experience. Cheers. I know I'm going to sound whack, but I'm tired of staying quiet. But I'm actually conversating with those birds right now on a feeling. Okay? This is real. We are so connected. It's just unfathomable how connected we are. So, lastly is that you are so important. Each and every single one of you are so important that you thinking that you're not important is doing a disservice to the world. It's time that I don't want to say I don't care. Words, blah. Because I do care. I'm just going to say how it comes out, but I do care. I don't care how many excuses you have, justifications, reasons and judgments that you have to not accept how important you are, because you are that important. I mean, think about it. You're talking to someone who hurt a lot of people, who did a lot of bad in the world. I mean, my mom's right here. She can testify to it. No? Please? No? Okay. Well, unconditional love, right? Everybody has the rights to their own decision. But my mom can testify that I didn't listen to anybody. I don't care who you were. Well, because I was in a gang, I followed the motto of the gang, right? But what I'm saying is I never listened to anybody to tell me what to do. I didn't care. I was a gentleman with women, elderly, and children. But with men, I didn't care. Because my mom taught me to respect. But here's my point. I had no hope. Suicidal. I tried to kill my life. I tried to take my life several times. I even had others force them to take my life. I even lost friends because they told me, how can you ask me to do that? And they stopped talking to me because I was that crazy. And without going too much in depth, one of them was a very well-known hitman in Mexico. And he just stopped talking to me because he says, I trusted you. And because you asked me to kill you, I can't trust you anymore. Just vanished from my life. So long story short, because I don't want to make it about me, but it's important. I've hurt a lot of people. I never was a thief. I never robbed from people, but I took from people in many different ways. I took people's dreams. I took people's... Yeah. So, my point is this. If you can look at me and you feel any kind of love, any kind of resilience, any kind of, I'll say, hope, any kind of faith, any kind of, like, there's an opportunity, there's a chance, like, I wasn't that bad. Because I'm going to tell you, in my world, I was one of the worst. I was even told that I was one of the most down people of my gang. The reason why I say this is, whatever excuse you have, whatever justifications you would think you have, let me tell you, I wouldn't want you to live in my shoes. And if I was looking from the outside in, and I was thinking what you're thinking, I would say, man, he has no right. He has no, like, there's no reason why he should have this opportunity. Okay? So if I'm telling you that, and I'm going to tell you because my wife kind of counsels me not to say this, but I think this is so important. Because I need to go to the depths of it. So whoever has an excuse right now, my intention is you absolve and you destroy that excuse forever. Or that you start chipping at that today. Is that I had conversations with the devil and I had an agreement with what I thought the devil was. And I said, why haven't you killed me yet? Because I was waiting to go to hell so I can kill as many demons so I could take his throne. That's where my head was. I'm not here sugarcoating it. Because what I desire to instill in you is that from here on forward, you look at yourself like a saint compared to me. No excuses. You are that important. You are that valuable. Because if I didn't make that decision over 20 years ago, out of anger, out of revenge, to study the government, because I want to become the greatest criminal, and I didn't want to be on America's Most Wanted. I want to be so good you didn't even know how good I was. And I went into prison to become a worse criminal. Hello, listen, like really hear that, feel that. I went into prison to become a worse criminal. It was my Innerverse-City. It was my Innerverse-City. I didn't realize that at the time. But I studied so much that I realized how free I truly was in a 6x9 cell over a year locked up. I was locked up Look at that. Let me just show you micro, macro of the world. See that derby car? It gets wrecked. So how much are you tired of getting wrecked by life? Like, that's what just passed by. I look at life as my mirror. It's talking to me in every moment. This is the oneness of life. It is, anyways, I went to a whole nother level, but just start opening it up to life as your mirror. It's not against you, it's for you. But if you think you're against you, you're always going to see that life is against you. But it's not that it's against you, it's that you're believing you're against you. And this is what goes back to the very beginning, when we unconsciously signed our rights away. But now that we know, we consciously sign our rights away, because when you don't believe in yourself, you're signing over your rights, waiting for someone, waiting for something to happen so you can be free, so you can experience love, so you can experience joy, so you can experience life when it's truly, truly yours right here, right now. The question is, what are you willing to give for it? Are you willing to give your identity of who you think you are? Are you willing to give your excuses of what you've been justifying? Are you willing to give up, and I'm going to say it, your external faith? Waiting for someone or something to happen outside of you, because that faith that you think is outside of you, if you really do your diligence and you study all faiths, they come from within. They all talked about a source within. When you honor that within, you honor that faith. So I said I wasn't going to sugarcoat it, so please, if you feel offended, if you think you're offended, if you think I'm offending you, if you think I'm judging you, if you think I'm comparing you, or whatever your brain wants to go to, I'm really bringing you to unity. That's my intention. Because when you unite with yourself, I mean, think about it like this. If you're a parent and your son or your daughter says, Daddy, Mom, I'm waiting for you to be worthy so that I can be worthy. Because I don't believe I'm worthy. Because it's not what you tell me, it's how you treat me. That hit, right? So how many times do we say, oh man, life is so unfair? We don't realize we're telling our faith that. My faith is so unfair. My God, my deity, my source is so unfair. Words are so powerful. But we say we have faith because we go to church, or we read books, or we love other people, we serve other people, but we don't serve ourselves. We don't love ourselves. And I'm going to quote scripture because, you know, I was raised in a Christian church. And it says, love thy neighbor as thyself. Huge, huge, big game changer right there. Love your neighbor as thyself. Because you can't love if you don't love. The other one is when, and I believe, I don't remember the scripture, but I believe Paul is saying, or is it Jesus? Somebody is saying that, you know, when they go to the kingdom of heaven, and Jesus says, quote me on this, Mom, because I know you know this more than me. Oh, I just got loved by a bird. Look at that. I just got loved on by a bird. As soon as I said that. I know, I just felt it right now. Mom says it's been there for a while. But I'm going to tell you, this is love. This is how animals mark their territory. This is how they unite. And if you see this as, oh my gosh, they disrespected you, that's your perspective. Because this is really love. So, bird poop, okay? So you know what it is, bird poop, okay? But here's the scripture when it says, we professed, your name, and we cast demons out in your name, and we did all of this in your name. And Jesus said it. And Jesus says, if you do not love, I will say to you, depart from me, for I never knew you. Because in love, we unite with that one identity that is the glue of all love. I'm talking about unconditional love. I'm not talking about conditional love. When only things are going your way, you love. And trust me, we've all been there, and I still fall there sometimes. Okay? We're all in this together. I'm not gonna sit here and act like my shirt's white and I'm perfect in the world's eyes. I'm perfection itself, just like you are. But I'm not perfect in the world's eyes. Not one bit. So, my message to you is this. Doesn't matter how much good or greatness you do. If you don't love yourself, you're not going to experience that life that is yours. That's how you take, I don't want to say take back your freedom because you never had to take it back. It was always yours. That's how you align with the freedom that has always been, forever will be yours. Right here, right now. So I'm going to read the comments because I know I've been going and going. And I need to do a Spanish one, but I think I'll do that tomorrow. Carmen says, I agree, we don't know nothing. Shout out to our beautiful, amazing student, Carmen Salcido. We love you. Thank you for all your work. And if you'd like to know and experience the Samadhi journey, please, please, please message us. We got you. We love you. And any way that we can help you, please look us up. Dan Ferrando says, you're not whacked. You're right when we need to be. Oh, you're right where we need to be. Yes, very well said. And that's a good point because you could be watching any other video. And please, that's another segue to this. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook. I'm barely starting to get into these things again. Twitter, Pinterest, and LinkedIn. And also, we just began about 2 weeks ago on Clubhouse. So follow us on Clubhouse. If you don't know what Clubhouse is, you're missing out. And it's now on Android. Let me know. I'll get you in. If not, if I can't get you in because I'm running out of invites, let me know. I'll get you invited from people that I know. Okay? But please, 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 let's connect on Clubhouse. Magic is happening. And let me tell you, Clubhouse is not like these social medias where everybody wants to sell you things. It's about uniting from a heart level. People are giving just to give because we want to make a difference in this world. So please, let me know if you want to be included, and let's do this. Carmen says, you are a light. Oh, I'm just a mirror. Oh, thank you. First of all, thank you. Because see, that's part of self-love. Is that what I just showed you right there? We're so used to, oh, you are too, but we don't accept it. So take it from me that I'm still practicing this to this day. Thank you, Carmen. I receive that love. I receive that reflection. And in receiving, I'm more able to reflect back. I'm more able to mirror back. So thank you. I receive and I also serve with that light because I'm just a conduit. Oh, Mom wants to say something. Yay!
Hi, I am Michael's mom. And
Hold on, Mom. The one that didn't want to come out on camera. Okay, no pressure, Mom. Go ahead. This is magic right here.
And I just want to say that
Are you on the camera?
Everything he's saying is true. The way his life has been until he turned his life around. Blessings to all. Bye.
So, Mom, let me ask you a question.
Please.
Can I ask you a question? Okay. Thank you, Mama. I love you. And you know what? Let me just say, without this woman right here, I wouldn't know what respect is. I wouldn't know what love is. I wouldn't know what faith is. I wouldn't know. This woman would sing and praise God in very harsh circumstances, being afraid that her son or her daughter were going to be pronounced dead, and that she would have to go identify the body because we would never come home.
Well, praise God, praise God, praise God. He is here helping a lot of people.
And let me tell you that this woman lost a lot of sleep, lost a lot of sanity. Okay. Thank you, Mama. I gotta disconnect my charger because I keep it connected. Thank you, that was a gift. Please connect with my mom. She is such a powerhouse. She is my celebrity. She is the love of my life. Of course, my wife. We have a little friendly competition. We say, she's my mama. No, she's my mama. No, she's my mama. No, she's my mama. And, we share her. But anyways, so, thank you, Mom. Without your prayers, without your faith, we wouldn't be here. And that's why we chose each other before we came into this world. Thank you so much, Mama. I love you. Okay. Wow, hold on. Let me take a minute. Thank you, Mama. I just got a message. It's a beautiful reflection right there. The minute that I let go and I honored her, the minute the magnet within both of us magnetized each other, which really is a magnet within all of us. You all were part of this process that we magnetized her to come on the camera. But if I was to tell her, come on, even when I got her on the camera, she would not be her genuine self because she would feel forced to do that. And see, this is the sovereignty that I'm talking about. We've been forced to be someone we're not. It's time to be who you truly are. Let me see how long we've been going. Oh shoot, 45 minutes. I gotta get on another call. Okay, another appointment. So Alice says, and let me just say, not oh shoot. Oh yes, look at this magic, right? Look at this love. Alice says, yes, that Michael post is long gone. Transformation at its best. Thank you, love. And let me just say in a segue to that, because this is me honoring the life that I live, the story that I never believed that I would be here. Like, I honestly had resigned to the worst life ever. And I basically told God, I had a conversation with God, just like I had a conversation with the devil, a conversation with God, and I said, you know what, God, I'm not going to play with you. I asked for forgiveness. He saved my life several times. God saved my life several times. Because to me, it's not a he or she, it's a supreme, absolute, just profound, spirit, profound spirit. Because I believe when we say he or she, we separate it in our consciousness. And that's just the same way as, you know, masculine and feminine. So, but with all due respect to whatever you believe in, of course. So if it's God, he for you, I honor the he of the God that you believe. But for me, God is beyond he or she. It is the source of all he or she. So when I was having this conversation with God that I believe was out there, I said, you know what, God, the day that I serve you, I'm not going to play around with you. The day that I serve you, I'm going to serve you 1,000%. I'm not going to play with you. But for right now, and I didn't give you the description, but I would pretend that, you know, God was this, and I'll share more of the story later. But, however, I pretend that God was this carnival ship, like this cruise ship, right? And every time I would jump off the ship, God had to stop the boat, redirect the boat, and remember, there's a lot of passengers that I want to get to where they want to get to, right? So that God would turn around the boat, and I'll share this in more detail later, and then would come back, because when they put the brakes on, they still move. So they have to turn the ship around, redirect to pick me up, right? So other people would say, hey, God, Michael threw himself overboard, right? So then God would say, okay, stop the ship, go back, pick him up. And I did this a lot of times. So the way that I visioned this is that I said, you know what? Here I am throwing myself overboard and asking God for help. And the minute that God brings me up back to the ship, I'm like, screw it. Now I'm going to go jump in again. Drugs, violence, gangs, I mean, all kinds of different things. So my point to this story is that when I seen this visual, I said, you know what, God? I'm going to swim to shore. And if I can't find the shore, I'm going to drown trying. At that time, trying, right? I'm going to drown, I'll say it now, doing the best, because I don't believe in trying. I'm going to die drowning, doing my best. And I didn't. I never asked God for help again. But when I started studying myself, I realized God was always there. I realized even though I thought I was swimming alone, God was the one swimming with me, as me, for me, through me. That was my game changer. So this is what I'm getting at. So when I had this conversation with God, I said, you know what, God? I'm not going to play with you. I remember going to prison and wanting to pick up the Bible because I felt alone. I wanted something different in my life. But I never picked up the Bible because I honored that agreement. And I didn't realize in honoring that agreement, I was being honest with myself. Because how many of us pick up books, and I'm going to say this with all the love in my heart, pick up religion, pick up a belief, pick up and I'm going to say this, a workshop or whatever, And we think that's going to transform our lives. But the whole time we're betraying ourselves, thinking that something outside is going to help me when it's really inside of me. So, the reason why I share this is because when Jesus was saying that I never knew you, depart from me. Because if we didn't love, we didn't live. This doesn't mean that when we get to the, because I've died several times before, and that's a whole other story for a whole other day. But what I realized is, on the other side, there is no judgment. On the other side, there's no conditions. You are so loved, that you are so appreciated, because you signed up to suffer and to go through pain, anxiety, confusion, and fear, so that it can experience this through you. It holds nothing but love for you. There's no judgment on the other side. And if you don't want to believe me, I honor that too. But I'm going to tell you, the agreement that I made with the devil, that I wasn't going to kill him. I wasn't going to suffer for eternity. I was going to take the devil out or die doing my best. Just like the ocean, I did it in hell. That was my psyche, right? So my point is this. And look who just came with us right now. He just sat here for a moment. Okay? Another secret about cats that... Anyways, I won't go into that. Because I don't want to shock if you... So here's my point. When I had this agreement with the devil, and I had my first near-death experience, which I don't call them near-death experience, and if you want to know why, we can have that conversation privately. But when I had my first near-death experience, I remember feeling so much love, this brain just shattered. I couldn't survive there. It wanted to hold my identity. It wanted to hold that judgment. Because this is the hell that we go through. That's a whole other conversation for a whole other day. But my brain was like, and finally it just exploded or imploded. And all of a sudden I felt this unconditional love. I felt this immense peace. I felt this profound joy that even the words that I use don't even come close. When I come out of that experience, I'm like, holy, right? I went back to the life that I lived because I couldn't believe how loved I was. The reason being is this. When I started reawakening, on my reawakening journey, my remembering journey of this divine remembrance, because that's what I call it, divine remembrance, is that I realized through that experience, I was invited to transform my life. Because I experienced absolute unconditional love. Absolute unconditional presence. And when I went back to that life, is what I realized, it was so unbelievable that I had to prove how wrong it was to be here today, to share it today. Because if I would have said yes to that at that moment, then it would have been easy. All you have to do is have a near-death experience. That didn't even work for me. So I'm here to tell you, even near-death experiences didn't work. I had to go through all this torture, all of this hell on earth, which is really hell on the inner earth, because I created this hell in my brain. Nobody created it for me. I chose to accept it. I had to create all of this, fabricate all of this, to tell you today that I'm living proof that you're so powerful that you can destroy your life, that you can destroy your sovereignty, but really you can't because it's there. Because that's why I'm here to talk about it. So, I will go and message on the comments later because I know I've taken a lot, not taken, but I've shared a lot of time with all of you. And Alice says, keyword was, if Michael Post could transform that brain, anyone can. As soon as I just said that, it takes time, dedication, self-love, and deep hunger to become the true light we are meant to be. And if this sounds like something that you're interested or you've been thinking about, remember, it's not about the logical path. That's going to take you a whole nother way. I'm telling you from personal experience, before I met my wife, I was so logical, enlightened, awakened, illumined, And the brain had me for a trip. I experienced great experiences. But what I didn't realize, I wasn't even a crumb of what was waiting for me. So, if this sounds like something that you're ready and you're willing to dive into, let's have a conversation and let's experience this together. Because I'm here for you. Because I'm here for me. Because I'm here for we. Because I'm here for I amness. Dan Ferrando says, love, light, and life. Thanks for sharing your journey. We all grow when we hear people's journey. Best. Thank you. Thank you. And let me say that I'm barely stepping into this because I don't share my journey because I always wanted to be there for all of you. But I realized just recently, in not sharing my story and not being here for me to share my story, I'm actually dishonoring the story, trying to give information out. So I want to share my story more. So much more to come. And I desire and I invite any one of you to share your story because we're in this together. So let's share each other's story. Come on with us and we'll come on with you and let's share stories together. Thank you for that comment. Do you see what that comment did? This is what I'm talking about. And I'm losing my voice as I speak, so I'm going to be wrapping it up here shortly. Is that, do you see what just happened? Magic just happened right in front of your eyes. Because my wife commented, Dan Ferrando commented, Carmen commented, and it took it in different directions, right? But it's so magical because without those comments, it would have just been Michael sharing. But when two or more are gathered, profoundness happens. Magic happens. Alice says, agreed, love you, amores. Love God, your Father, as you love yourself, because you are God. Ooh, I'm screenshotting that, brother. I'm screenshotting that, beautiful mirror. You're a beautiful mirror. I love the mirror that you are. And let's get together. Let's get on a call. Because I really, really love your spirit. And shout outs to the All for One Club. Lorena Bees, blessings. Thank you for joining us. Alejandro Chris, thank you for joining us. And I just met Alejandro today. Shout outs to Alejandro. I love you, beautiful soul. And I'm looking forward to all the beautiful journeys with all of you. Because I'm serious when I say this. I'm here for lifelong relationships. I'm not here for just convenient relationships. I'm here to hold hands and hand in hands together, heart in hearts, and let's do this because we're here and we didn't meet by accident. So I love you all. Let me take a sip of my water. And remember, shout outs to the juice garden. Remember to drink your juices also as well because the plants, the fruits and the vegetables are medicine for us. They're here for us. And the All for One Club knows this and lives this. Blessings, much love. Toast. Cheers. We should be toasting to water, juices, fruits, and vegetables. And I'm going to tell you, there's a secret. When you eat, be present with your food. It's a sacred experience. Okay? It's not just eating. Look at the magic that happens inside of you. Anyways, this is the side effects. These are the gifts of the Spirit that the Bible talks about. Because we can go on and on and on and on and on. And let me tell you, Ali and I, no joke, we're going to have a marathon soon. And we're going to bring a lot of speakers. So if you want to speak, we're going to create a lot of platforms that we're going to help you succeed so that we can succeed together, we can thrive together, we can remember our freedom together, we can love, live, laugh, and remember the message from the beginning. We can play and be together from the foundation of grounding for life. Just remember, take off your shoes, get raw and naked with Mother Earth because she wants to get raw, naked, and genuine with you because she always is willing to. Remember to hydrate for life, drink life. If you want to know quality water, get a hold of me and I'll share with you water that's transformed my life. Seriously, nutrition in your water, okay? The third one is breathing for life. Remember to take those breaths. Life is not so serious, but it is, but it isn't. It's a whole other conversation. And remember to surrender and play and be life. Because as children, we want to hurry up and be an adult. And as adults, we want to go back and be children. So we're never grateful for what we have when we have it. So become childlike, because it says that the children shall inherit the earth. When you awaken that child within you, you inherit your earth, because you become in this amazing vibrational state of pure beingness. That's what a child reflects. So remember to play and be life, because no matter what you do or no matter what you don't do, you can't take away from life. You only take away from your experience of what you experience of life. And that is our sole sovereign responsibility, our ability to respond and not react in life. So thank you all. Namaste, Carmen. Awesome share. Thank you, Dan Ferrando. I receive that. I mirror that to all of you, because my success is your success, just like your success, your life is my life. And please remember to sign that bill. Stop House Bill. Go to Stop House Bill. Go to www.stophousbill2668. No. I'm telling you, it's something new. I just found out about it a couple days ago. Stop House Bill 2668. And if I didn't get it right, I will post it. But please, let's gather and unite together so that we can really, the revolution is us. Revolution is not going to come outside of us. It's flowing from within us. So join me in this revolution, in this evolution, in this involvement of consciousness. Thank you. Hugs. Blessings to you all. Go enjoy life. Thank you. So if you want to be a part of the clubhouse, let me know, because it's already started. I'm going to go in. I love you all. Blessings, blessings, blessings. Have a great day. Have a great life. And remember, you already are free to be you. So be you till fully you. Beautifully you. Be you till fully you. Because you already are. Blessings. Namaste. Share this video. Please help us help other people transform and love and live themselves. Thank you. Namaste.